Your fingers hover over the keyboard, nothing comes. The cursor blinks again, mocking you. You've been here before, haven't you? That moment when forward motion just stops. The blank page stares back. Your inbox shows another rejection. The traffic light turns red again. Your idea, your plan, your timeline, all grinding to a halt. Your chest tightens, your shoulders rise. That familiar weight settles in. Ever felt like you've hit a wall and there's absolutely no way around it? Like the door's locked, the path's disappeared, and you're standing there, palms flat against something immovable, wondering if this is it? That crushing moment when momentum dies. But here's what most people miss about walls. You're staring at the wall you just drove into, not metaphorically. Your hands are still on the wheel, the engine's dead, the hood is crumpled, and somewhere in your chest, something broke the moment of impact. A dead end isn't just a wrong turn, it feels permanent, final, personal, like the universe built this brick wall specifically for you. Your mind goes quiet, not peaceful quiet, the kind where thoughts pile up like cars in a wreck, each one screaming the same thing. You should have known better, you're not good enough, you never were. Shame settles in like ash, and here's what makes it deadly. You start believing the story. Not the story about one closed door, the story about you. But that story, it's not the end. It's just what you're telling yourself right now. You're staring at your phone at 2 a.m., and the screen's glow is the only honest thing in the room. What's your wall right now? Is it the promotion that went to someone half your age? The business you poured everything into, now shuttered? The person who promised forever but chose someone else instead? The account that's empty when the bills arrive? This is it, you think, this is it. I've failed, there are no other options. The words circle like vultures. And here's what nobody tells you. It hurts, it's supposed to hurt. That pain isn't weakness. It's proof you cared, it's proof you tried. But right now in this moment, that doesn't help much. Does it? You stop knocking. First you tell yourself it's just for today. Then a week passes. Then you stop counting the weeks. The fire that burned bright enough to keep you awake at 3 a.m., it doesn't die with a bang. It dies in silence, one cold morning when you don't even notice it's gone. Frustration hardens into resignation. Resignation curdles into cynicism. And cynicism is comfortable. It asks nothing of you. It lets you blame the world instead of your own stillness. But the real tragedy isn't the dead end itself. It's that you've stopped believing anything exists beyond it. The cost isn't what you lost, it's who you stopped becoming. You stand at the edge of something that feels like forever. Your shoulders carry the weight of every attempt, every stumble, every moment you convinced yourself it would be different this time. So you're stuck. You feel the finality of it. That heavy closing door sensation that says this is just how it is. Part of you wants to walk away for good, to stop fighting, to accept the wall as the end of the story. But here's what most people miss. What if you're reading the map wrong? What if that wall isn't an ending at all, but a signpost, a marker telling you something crucial about the direction you've been traveling? The question isn't whether you should quit. The question is, what are you actually seeing? You know that moment when your GPS recalculates, when the road ahead closes and the voice says rerouting? Your destination doesn't disappear. The map doesn't crumple. It just redirects. That's the difference between a dead end and a detour. A dead end says stop, period, full closure. But a detour is a forced redirection, not a cancellation. The destination still exists, the path just changed. Here's what matters. One is something that happens to you, the other is something you do. One traps you, the other moves you forward. And that distinction, it changes everything about how you travel. Your chest knows the weight of it, that thing you've been carrying, the wall, the impossible thing standing between where you are and where you thought you'd be by now. Let's do a mindset experiment right now. I want you to think of it. Really see it, that barrier, that dead end you've been staring at. Now say this out loud and mean it. This isn't a dead end, this is a detour. Feel that tiny shift in pressure behind your ribs? Like something just exhaled that's been holding its breath for months. That's not magic. That's not false hope. That's the first step off the cliff of resignation. Your brain just rewired one sentence, and everything changes when you realize the wall was never the problem. You were just looking at it wrong. You know what a detour actually is? It's a path pretending to be a wrong turn. Spencer Silver wanted super glue. Instead, his adhesive refused to hold. That failure became the post-it note worth billions. A mold spore landed on Alexander Fleming's petri dish, contaminating everything. That accident became penicillin. 12 publishers rejected J.K. Rowling's Wizard Boy. 12. Each no wasn't a stop sign, it was a redirect. Here's what they understood. The obstacle wasn't the end of the path, it became the path. They didn't hit a dead end, they were forced onto a detour they couldn't see yet. And that's when everything changed. Your GPS recalculates. The highway you mapped, smooth, familiar, predictable, suddenly closes. You have a choice. The detour winds through mountains you didn't plan to cross. Steeper grades, sharper turns, roads that demand your full attention. Most people resent this. They grip the wheel tighter, they want the easy route back, but something shifts as you climb. Your hands learn the weight of the road. Your instincts sharpen. You notice the valley below, the one you'd never have seen from the highway. Your vision expands, your confidence grows. The detour doesn't just reroute you, it remakes you. The scenic route teaches what the straight path never could. You don't arrive at your destination the same person you started. And that transformation, that's when the real journey begins. You're standing at the fork right now. Maybe you don't realize it yet, but you are. One path whispers finality, a dead end dressed up as truth. It's the story where the obstacle wins, where you're permanently stuck, where failure gets the last word. The other path is wider than you think. It's called a detour, and detours don't end journeys. They redirect them, they teach, they grow you. Here's what matters. You get to choose which label fits what you're facing. And that label, it determines everything that happens next. So the question isn't whether you can navigate this. The question is simpler. Which one are you choosing right now? Because choosing is just the first step. Now comes the actual walking. Right now, there's something sitting between you and what you want. Maybe it's a voice telling you it's impossible. Maybe it's a closed door you haven't figured out how to open yet. Let's get specific about it. Find a pen. Write down exactly what's stopping you. Not the vague feeling, but the actual wall, the real one. Now ask yourself this, does this truly make my goal impossible, or does it just make it harder? Different? Because there's a difference. If it's truly impossible, we pivot. If it's just harder, we find another way. Brainstorm one alternative path. Doesn't matter if it sounds ridiculous. One detour. Any detour. Pause the video. Do this now. I'll be here. You're 3 miles into a detour and your GPS has gone silent. Here's what nobody tells you. Detours aren't scenic shortcuts. They're longer, they're harder, they're uglier than the route you planned. Your legs will ache. Your mind will spiral with doubt. You'll catch yourself asking, why didn't I just stay on the main road? And that voice, the one whispering that you've made a terrible mistake, that voice is completely normal. But listen, the friction you're feeling, that's not a warning, that's growth. Every mile that tests you, every moment you want to quit, that's tuition. You're paying for something better on the other side. So embrace the grind of this detour. Because the destination worth reaching isn't found on the easy path. And you're almost ready to understand why. You're standing at a fork in a road you never planned to take, and the compass in your chest feels like it's spinning. This is when you need to stop. Not to turn back, but to check 3 things. First, your bearings. Look around. Are you still moving toward what actually matters to you, even if the destination sign says something different now? The detour doesn't erase your values, it just rewrites the route. Second, your fuel. Check your hands. Are they trembling from exhaustion or steady with purpose? Burning out doesn't make you committed. It makes you lost faster. And third, the map. What is this detour teaching you? What would the easy path have kept hidden? These three anchors, they keep you from disappearing into the wilderness. So ask yourself now, where do you actually stand? You're standing at a fork in the road you never planned to reach. On the planned route, you get exactly what you expected. Nothing more, nothing less. But on the detour, that's where you find what you never knew you needed. I took a wrong turn once. Missed my intended destination by 3 hours. Instead, I stumbled into a conversation that changed my entire career trajectory. The obstacle wasn't punishment, it was redirection. So here's what I'm asking you. What if your current obstacle isn't blocking your dream? What if it's secretly guiding you toward a better version of it entirely? This is where the magic happens, and it all starts with trusting the detour. You stand at a crossroads you didn't plan for, and the doubt creeps in like fog. But what if I'm just wandering? The voice is quiet, insidious. What if this detour costs me everything? Here's the truth. Time spent growing is never wasted. Time spent resigned. Time spent frozen in the safe, the familiar, the dead. That's the real robbery. You're not off course. You're on a new course. The person who arrives after this detour isn't the person who started. They're wiser, tougher. They own a story that belongs only to them, not the neat, packaged narrative they were supposed to follow, but something earned through navigation, through doubt, through choosing forward anyway. The detour is where you become. Your feet touch solid ground and the air tastes different here, clearer, somehow earned. This isn't the rush of an easy win. This is heavier. Your hands remember every grip, every slip, every moment you nearly turned back. Your shoulders know the weight they carried. Your mind holds the map of 1,000 detours, each one carving something new into who you are. You look back and see the wall, but it's changed. The wall wasn't there to stop you. It was there to turn you into the person who could climb it. The skills you carry now, they're woven into your bones. The resilience isn't borrowed. The perspective isn't borrowed either. You didn't find the shortcut. You became the shortcut. And that changes everything. Think of the road you took that led nowhere. The one that made your chest tight with regret. Look at it again, not as failure, as a detour. What did that dead end force you to learn? What skill emerged from the wreckage? What person did you become in that wrong place? Because it didn't just waste your time, it redirected you. It taught your hands, your mind, your instincts something they needed to know. You've been navigating detours your whole life. You just called them failures. Every wrong turn that sharpened you. Every closed door that moved you sideways into something true. You've been reading maps in the dark, learning terrain most people never encounter. You are already a detour navigator. Now you're just becoming conscious of it. And that changes everything. You're standing at a fork in the road, and there's no map that shows you which way leads home. That's the real world. Not the straight highway you were promised. Not the direct line from point A to point B. Life is a network of back roads and detours. Some you choose, some choose you. And the moment you accept that, something shifts. The perfect plan was always an illusion. The perfectly mapped career, the perfectly timed romance, the perfectly ordered life. But resilience, that's real. That's what carries you through the detours. Because the ultimate destination isn't a destination at all. It's growth, it's discovery, it's becoming more than you were yesterday. Stop searching for the perfect path. Start building yourself strong enough for any path. And when you do, you'll realize something. The detours were never obstacles. They were the journey itself. Right now, in this moment, your hand is on a door you didn't know existed. Every obstacle you'll ever face offers you the same choice. Two paths, dead end or detour, the comfortable surrender, or the harder road that actually teaches you something. You already know which one changes you, so choose detour. Choose the path that requires more from you, the one that's wiser, stranger, more interesting than anything you planned. Choose the direction that scares you a little, because it's asking you to become someone new. Your greatest breakthroughs aren't waiting at your destination. They're waiting around the bend you didn't plan to take. The question isn't whether you'll find them, it's whether you'll turn. The map in your hands grows worn at the creases. Those places you folded it again and again, tracing routes that weren't supposed to be yours. Your feet have walked ground you never planned to stand on. Your hands have built things in the spaces between destinations. And somewhere along the way, you stopped asking if this was a mistake. Let silence breathe. Because here's what the detour knows that the straight line never will. It teaches you who you are when the plan disappears. Slower now. So, what will your next detour make of you? Let the question hang.